former ESPN employees have alleged sexism at the worldwide leader. According to the Boston Globe, the accusations include having pregnancy negatively impact careers to being sent semi-nude photos from prominent male anchors. Adrienne Lawrence alleges that John Buccigross sent her shirtless photos and called her doll-faced. The anchor admitted to the photos but said he did not intend to offend Lawrence and that he considers her a friend. Sarah Walsh reportedly had her commitment questioned when she became pregnant and worked on air through a miscarriage for fear of having a negative impact on her career. ESPN responded in a statement saying, "It is always a work in progress, but we're proud of the significant progress we've made in developing and placing women in key roles at the company and the boardroom, in leadership positions throughout ESPN and on air."
An investigative report by the Boston Globe's Jenn Abelson on allegations of mistreatment of female ESPN employees suggests that the network could face significant legal consequences. Abelson's report depicts the ESPN as a hostile work environment for women, some of whom feel they have been targeted for unwelcomed sexual advances and others of whom believe they have encountered pregnancy discrimination. Along those lines, Abelson describes accounts of women hiding pregnancies from bosses and co-workers. They do so out of fear of the impact of being pregnant on their continued employment. These concerns have only amplified as ESPN downsizes in response to cord-cutting and other market shifts that disrupt the worldwide leader in sports. Adrienne Lawrence's complaint and potential lawsuit and ESPN's possible defenses. Abelson's report names one former ESPN on-air talent who recounts suffering blatant sexism and who has since taken legal action. Adrienne Lawrence, who is an attorney, filed a discrimination complaint with the Connecticut Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities this past summer. Lawrence charges that her male colleagues marked her and other female employees for unwanted sexual advances. Lawrence claims that ESPN anchor John Buccigross texted shirtless photographs of himself. He also sent her flirtatious messages, such as "Thank you, doll face. You're wonderful" and #dream hero. Lawrence, who is now a Mad 18 sideline reporter, further contends that ESPN retaliated against her for speaking up. The network gradually reduced her airtime and later denied her a permanent job. The fact that Lawrence filed a complaint means that she swore under oath as to her claims against ESPN. This is an important distinction from a person who only raises assertions during a media interview. The person who swears under oath does under penalty of perjury. If he or she knowingly lies, they can be charged with the felony crime of perjury. The sworn statement by no means guarantees the veracity of the allegations. A complainant often recalls the past in an unintentionally distortive or inaccurate way. Perjury is also a difficult crime to prosecute since the prosecutor must prove that a defendant knowingly lied. Nonetheless, such a statement lends some degree of credibility to the complainant's assertions. The person who speaks with a journalist, in contrast, does so without risk of perjury and thus may be more inclined to exaggerate or even lie. Under Connecticut law, ESPN had 30 days to respond to Lawrence's claims or risk a default judgment. In the months that followed Lawrence's filing, the Commission was expected to perform a case assessment review. The review evaluates the basic merits of a complaint and its factual contentions. If a complaint passes this hurdle, the Commission then attempts to settle the matter. To that end, the Commission uses a neutral mediator who tries to bridge differences between the two sides. The mediator typically attempts to resolve the complaint by suggesting that the respondent, in this case the ESPN, offer some sort of compensation, such as back pay, to the complainant. No resolution was reached in Lawrence's complaint, as it was dismissed at her request earlier this month. The dismissal enables Lawrence to file a lawsuit in federal court. If Lawrence sues, she would likely include claims for sexual harassment, hostile workplace and defamation. To prevail in those claims, Lawrence would likely argue that ESPN management knew or should have known about conduct that created a hostile environment for her and other women. She might also contend that ESPN executives badmouthed her and have made it more difficult for her to land comparable employment with another network. Lawrence would use her own experience and other available evidence to portray a pattern of misconduct. She alludes to this strategy in a tweet on Friday in which she claims that ESPN knows her allegations consist of far more than text messages and photos.